Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. I woke up this morning, news on television. They got this segment talking about a caravan coming in from Central America. And based upon the angle of this camera, it looked like, as far as you could see, people walking from Timbuktu. I mean, all you could see was just people. And so for a moment there, I thought to myself, somebody said they were walking to the U.S. And I'm thinking about, boy, that's a lot of people to be bringing into the U.S. And I'm thinking about, where you going to put them at? Where they going to go? They passing through Mexico. I'm sure a few stragglers are dropping off there. And other places where people are coming from, stragglers are dropping off. But they're trying to get to the U.S. And I'm asking myself, why are they trying to get to the U.S.? I'm thinking that maybe some of them have heard that the U.S. is more receptive to receiving. Some of them have possibly heard that the U.S. offers better opportunity for them and their families. I'm sure that there are some who are coming because they have been added to the bunch, to the group, to destabilize what's happening in America, to crowd America's streets out, to cause chaos. And what are you going to do with all of these people with one intention in mind, and that is to bring America down to the level where she won't be calling herself the greatest nation on earth, where the president won't be calling himself the greatest leader in the world ever. Wow, man, this is just some strange stuff. But then I'm thinking deeper than that. What do these hundreds, thousands of people represent? They represent robbery. They represent thief. They represent abuse, exploitation by governments, not just the government that they're running from, but the governments of the world that have exploited their regions and left them with the support of their people, who gives in to these crooks, who comes over and rob these people so they can make their folk think that they're special or that they got something going on, when in reality you haven't done anything but act like a demon. Wow. But be that as it may, these people are still walking. These people are going someplace. That also is a sign of the times. I saw Donald Trump getting out of a van talking about, these people are not going to come. They can get through Mexico if they want to, but they're not going to come across those borders over into the U.S. if he had to put the military out there. Then again, when you think about that, it could be a thing that they got worked out with people in different regions. Send the caravan over here. This way, you get a chance to force Americans, those Americans who have shown their hatred, those Americans who have been as low and dirty as they could possibly be. Yeah, this is the kind of thing that could be set up so it can make those people start fussing about how important and how necessary this wall is. And so you'll force the American people to build a wall, however much that wall costs. I'm telling you, all of those people that's on that road, on that caravan, that money could definitely help those people. But we can't do that. That's against the law of the world. It is something serious, ladies and gentlemen. We should all take it very serious, because these people have been displaced. They should never have been displaced. God made this world, this earth that we're living in, that all of those people on those streets, every last one of them, have access to food, clothing, shelter, education, health care, everything that is needed and required for survival. These people are entitled to receive it. And It has been given to them by God, but it has been taken from them. They have been ripped off, not by God, but they've been ripped off by people. People who covet power, people who want to be big shots, people who want to be God, people who want to be superior to other folks. All of these things have taken place. They've taken place with one thing in mind, and that is to be God, to take over God's role and rob these people out of all the things that they are actually entitled to. And so here's what we have to go through. We have to go through this here stuff all the days of our lives, wondering wondering what we're going to do. And so here we are, ladies and gentlemen, in this big moment in time. What is going to happen? Really, what is going to happen? Now, you know this here could be a moment for Trump as well. Trumpers will get those military people down on that border, and with all of those people coming down that road, I'm sure Trump is the kind of guy who wants to outdo Putin and all those other guys, Stalin and all those guys. Now, you've heard that there have been leaders in these countries who have just slaughtered people by the hundreds, by the thousands, and put them in these makeshift graves where you just pile them all in there together. Well, you heard about what was happening in Germany, what was happening in Russia, what was happening in China, what was happening in other places of the earth. You heard about it. Could you think that could happen here, where they could actually call the military and start shooting these people down if they try to get into the country, just murder them? Ooh-wee. Man, if they did some stuff like that, it seems like if there's a heaven, they should just be ready to rain down hell on the earth. But if you know your history, you would not say that, because that kind of stuff has been going on since the beginning of time. It happened in Africa. Back in Mandela's days, they were shooting them down like nothing. It happened in America, where they were killing, they died by the thousands. South against the North. Relatives against relatives. All it had to do with was about the haves and the have-nots. The haves and the have-nots. The God of creation made it so that everybody could have access to all they need, want, or desire. And then you say, well, why are they doing all the stuff we're doing now? Look at the trillionaires that have risen in the earth. Trillionaires, my friends. You know what that means? That means you got silos and barns and bonds rolling and flowing over with goods and services and money that is being denied to people just so somebody else can claim that they are the big wigs. They are the gods. Can you imagine that, ladies and gentlemen? Can you imagine? Well, now, this has happened many times before. I've asked people to make me president in the past. What could I have foreseen? I could have foreseen the same solutions that I've been offering the American people. Put everybody to work. And everybody's working would engage them in a part of the process of creating goods and services that will meet their needs, their wants, and their desires for everybody. They would not have to be running from their homes. They wouldn't be robbed from nations that thought they were big and better. No, none of that would have happened. It would have been a great nation. It would have been a great planet. Just like if in 2000 they had made me president of the United States, you wouldn't have had the World Trade Center debacle. That wouldn't have happened. Somebody, how you know? Because I know what caused it to happen. What caused it to happen? Greed, power. Those are the reasons that it happened. And it wasn't greed and power for the masses. It was greed and power for the small. Oh, a lot of people got paid. Oh, big time. But they didn't, whoever it was, didn't mind killing off those 3,000 people. I guess it was 3,000. It was any number of them. And all of the first responders who lost their lives and who are still losing their lives. They had no problem killing of these people. They got no problem in bombing people in war zones today. They got no problem bombing people. They got no problem shooting them down with big tanks. So I guess it really wouldn't be a big problem shooting down these people in this caravan. I guess that wouldn't be a big problem. But for some strange reason, I believe that something is happening today that hasn't happened before. And that is, before, I don't think the whole world knew exactly what was happening in real time. But today, without a doubt, the nations of the world will know exactly what's happening in real time and who's doing it. And I got the strangest feeling, those haters who don't mind killing people, I got the strangest feeling they will be ashamed and they will be somewhere hiding. I might be wrong, but I got that feeling. So I'm not going to try to offer any more of a solution to this problem with the caravan than I have up to this point. I would like to have a little bit more information before I go into deep details of what God would have. Well, I can go into what God would have. I already told you that. But trying to explain, man, now that's a different story. Let me let you go. I'll talk to you later. I might post this. I might not. Bye-bye.